Our average rate of change of polynomials. All right, so we have f of x equals x to the third, or x cubed, minus 9 times x. What is the average rate of change of f over the interval 1, 6? So our function is f, function of x up here. Over the interval, if you ever see brackets and not parentheses in math, it typically means it's an interval, okay? So parentheses is like a coordinate point, and then brackets would be an interval. So we are going from 1 to 6. I have a question written down over here. So here's our equation, our interval, and then I drew a little t-chart here. So we're going to plug in 1 and 6 into our problem and see what numbers we get out. And then after that, we're going to see how far these numbers are, and then divide it by 5. And I'll tell you why it's 5 in a second. So first, let's just plug our numbers in. So 1 goes into our equation. 1 cubed is 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Minus 9 times 1 is 9, which equals -8. So 1 goes to -8. Plug in 6. 6 times 6 times 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Times 6 more is 216. Minus 9 times 6 is 54. 216 minus 54, well, 216 minus 50 would give us 166. Minus 4 would give us 162. All right. So now our rate of change goes from -8 to 162. So how far apart are these numbers? Well, from -8 to 162, we go a total of 170, right? Or you just do 162 minus a -8, which is really plus, and we get 170. And then the question says average rate of change. Well, our change was 170, but we're changing over a span of 5, which is why we're going to divide by 5. So 170 divided by 5. Well, 5 goes into 120 times, and 5 goes into 70 14 times, so 20 plus 14 is 34. So the average rate of change would be 34. Okay. Next question. Over which interval does f have a positive average rate of change? Okay, so we need to basically just find a positive number from the first number to the second number. And once we get a positive number, we have a positive rate of change. So I assume 3 of these will come out negative, or actually 1 might be 0 too. Who knows actually? 0 or negative, and then 1 will be positive. So let's plug in -3 into the first question. So -3 squared is 9, plus 10 is 19. So I'm writing this stuff down on my board over here. And then you plug in 3. We get 3 times 3 is 9, plus 10 is 19. So here you go, that's 0. So A is 0, so it's not A. -4 squared is 16. Plus 10 equals 26. -1 squared is 1. Plus 10 is 11. So our number is going from 26 to 11, so that's a negative number. 26 to 11 is -15, so that's not B. This equals 0, so it's not A. C, -3 squared is 9, plus 1 is 10. 1 squared is 1, plus 10 is 11. That looks like it's our number right there. Oh no, sorry, I messed up. Sorry, the first one was wrong. If 3 squared is 9, plus 10 is 19. There we go, 19 to 11, which would give us a rate of change of -8. So the last one must be right. -1 squared is 1, plus 10 is 11. And then 2 squared is 4, plus 10 is 14. So we're going from 11 to 14, which is +3. And that's our answer. Okay, what is the average rate of change of h over the interval -5 to -1? All right, so this is just a different way of writing the first question. We still have an equation up top here. and then we have an interval from -5 to -1. So they could have written this in brackets, which I will do on the board right now. And we have t plus 3 squared plus 5. All right, so h of t is equal to t plus 3 squared over 5. So -5, right? Yeah, -5. Can't read my own writing. All right, -5 plus 3 is -2. -2 squared is 4. Plus 5 is 9. So the first number goes to 9. -1 plus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Plus 5 is 9. So the average rate of change is going to be 0. Our difference is 0. So 0 divided by 4 is 0. Last question. Over which interval does h have a negative average rate of change? So very similar to question 2, except this time we're looking for a negative number and not a positive nor a 0. So 1 goes in there. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 squared, 16. 16 plus 5 is 21. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 squared is 49. 49 plus 5 is 54. That's a positive change from 21 to 54, so it's not A. -3 plus 3 is 0, so 0 squared, 0, plus 5 gives us 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 squared is 49. 49 plus 5 is 54. Once again, going up, so we're not, that's a positive number, looking for negative. -2 plus 3 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. And then we have 0 goes in there, so 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. It's not C, must be D. They're making us do all the work. -4 plus 4 is -1. -1 squared is +1. Plus 5 is 6. And then when we put -3 in there, we get 0 out. 0 squared is 0. Plus 5 gives us 5. So, looking at my work over here, goes up, goes up, goes up. 6 to 5 goes down. So D is our answer. So yeah, this question, I'm just plugging the first number and the second number and just seeing what they go to. Okay. And we're done.